We have just seen, I think, the end of Bill Belichick in the NFL. I don't think Bill's coaching another game as head coach again. His career's over. The door has slammed shut with Raheem Morris getting the Falcons job. Bill's career is over. He's not getting the Commanders head coaching job. He's not getting the Seahawks head coaching job. And why I could sit here and confidently tell you Bill will not coach another game in the NFL is because how can any team going forward sell to their fan base Bill Belichick being their head coach and having that be a positive? Like, let's play this game out, right? Let's think about it. He's not getting a head coaching job this cycle, which means he's going to sit out of a year or for a year and then try to come back in 2025. So we are now talking about a guy who week 1 of 2025 is going to be 73 years old, 1 year removed from the NFL, who, by the way, has not won since Tom Brady left New England. In 4 years, he's gone 29-38. So he's struggled to win with anyone not named Tom Brady at quarterback. And speaking of quarterback, he has not been able to pick the right one nor develop a quarterback whatsoever. Nor has he been able to put that quarterback in a position to succeed with either good coaching or good skilled players around him. So you add all that up, 73, year removed from the NFL, 29-38 without Tom Brady in 4 years, good enough sample size, can't draft a quarterback, can't develop a quarterback, can't put offensive pieces around the quarterback. How does, I ask you, how does any GM or any owner sell then bringing Bill Belichick to their team as being the answer? How can you sell that? How can you expect your fans to go crazy, get fired up, think this is the answer? We got Bill. You can't. It's an impossible sell. There is no hyping up the fan base for bringing Bill Belichick in. And that is why he's never going to be brought in as a head coach again. He's not going to have a head coaching job, in part because you can't sell to your fans that this is the right guy to take you over the hump. Like, as I say these words, it is a little bit sad, right? Like, this is the GOAT of coaching. Someone who's, 29 years old for when I really first started understanding and remembering watching the NFL, Bill Belichick's been on a sideline. I don't know what the NFL is like without Belichick coaching a team. So it is like sad in a way to see such an icon, such a guy who's accomplished so much, leave the sport kind of getting kicked out, if you will. But the saying is true. All good things must come to an end. I think that's what we're seeing here with Bill Belichick. I know what you're probably thinking. Probably a lot of name calling going on right now across your radio of, Ryan, idiot. He's won 6 Super Bowls. Why would I not want that guy on my team? Of course I would be excited for Bill to be my coach next year. You know what I say to that? If you're someone who's all in on the 6 rings and that's what you focus on, that was all in the past. Don't focus on what Bill has done. Focus on what he can do. He's won 6. Can he win you 7? Can he win you a Super Bowl to get his number himself to 7? My answer is no. For all the reasons I just laid out before. Can't draft offensive players. Can't develop a quarterback. How are you winning a Super Bowl when he's truly offensively challenged? Both coaching-wise and player-wise. Struggles finding the right players on offense and struggles finding good coaching to get the most out of those players on offense. How do you think you're getting a Super Bowl when that is the issue right now for Bill? You're not. So that's why I hear the 6 ring argument, and it to me doesn't matter. Here's an example for you. Here's a stat that I researched quite diligently, and it honestly took a lot more time than I thought, but it is right. So here it is. Bill's last playoff win, right? Let's just go back to, speaking of Super Bowls, his last Super Bowl was 2018 over the Rams. That was also his last playoff win. Since that time, so since the 2018 Super Bowl that Bill got, there have been 22 other coaches in the NFL that have won a playoff game more recently than Bill Belichick. 22. He's basically getting lapped by the field of coaches around getting to the playoffs and winning playoff games compared to what Bill's been unable to accomplish with the Patriots since Tom Brady left. So you want to get locked in and excited about the 6 Super Bowls and say, of course I want a guy who's that accomplished leading my team. Sure, he hasn't forgotten how to coach, but since that final Super Bowl, there's been a lot of other better coaches that have gotten more out of their teams than Bill has. Why would you want to kind of bring Bill in on a farewell tour, essentially, so he can get 15 more wins to surpass Don Shula and then ride off into the sunset without really showing you he has the ability to get a team back to the Super Bowl like he did in New England? That ability for me is gone. No longer the case. And I just don't see how or why, if you're a fan, that would get you excited. And also, too, this is a guy that, in Bill's case, that is not just a head coach that you bring in. He's the GM. He's the guy not only coaching the players, but drafting the players, trading for the players, signing the players. And that has been a complete disaster. Bill's not giving up power. And so you are not just hiring a head coach, you are hiring a head coach and GM. And GM Bill is really doing a number on head coach Bill, because he has been awful at evaluating the offensive side of the football. Awful. And I have no reason to believe that's going to change. He's 73, or going to be, I should say, will be 73 years old. He's not changing his ways. He's a guy that's not going to adapt, whether it's power-wise to allow a GM to pick better players than he can, whether it's his coaching style. Like, Bill is who he is. He is someone who has won 6 Super Bowls, and he's not going to change the way his overall style is. He will change the defense on a given week to scheme against the offense, but he's not going to change his process. And that process has failed now for a while. No reason to think it's going to improve anytime soon. I wouldn't want that on coaching my team, that's for sure. But also, too, like, don't just take my word for it. Like, it's one thing for me to say, oh, Bill's done. No team will ever hire him again as a head coach. You can say, oh, Ryan, what do you know? What do you know? You don't have to listen to me. How about you listen to the rest of the NFL? Listen to what they think of Bill Belichick. Because there was plenty of opportunities for Bill to be on a sideline in 2024. He didn't get a lot, and we know he's not going to be. All right, seven other openings outside of the Patriots were available for Bill to go and be their head coach next year. One team brought him in for an interview. That's it. No other team even requested an interview with Bill Belichick. And the Falcons did their due diligence, 2 interviews, and then ended up hiring Raheem Morris, who also, by the way, as a defensive mind, predominantly defensive coordinator, you could tell kind of where they're looking to go, the direction, and they thought Raheem Morris is a better option than Bill Belichick. So the Falcons are the only team to bring Bill in for an interview. Didn't hire him. No other team even tried to talk to Bill. Like, look at the Chargers, right, who have a quarterback in Justin Herbert. They didn't bother bringing in Bill. The Panthers, who with David Tepper can't get out of their own way. You would think that organization's like, well, we could use some sort of competency. We could use some sort of guy who knows what the hell he's doing in our, locker room, leading our guys. That didn't happen either. No one else outside of the Falcons even thought of bringing Bill in for a discussion. That right there, forget what I've been just saying the last 10 minutes. That right there should speak volumes to how the rest of the league does view the hoodie. Not very highly. So I don't see how, if you're a GM or an owner, you could sell to your fans that Bill coming in is going to lead us to the promised land. Bill is just a coach overall with offensively how he's struggled with finding good players, good quarterbacks, good coaching doesn't inspire confidence. And the fact that there was a lot of teams that on paper could have used Bill Belichick. Oh, by the way, let me mention before, two other teams that are playoff caliber in the Cowboys and Eagles could have fired their head coaches for Bill Belichick, chose not to as well. Plenty of teams in all different ranges. Some good, some really bad, some in the middle. Right? There was all different ranges of what kind of teams were looking for a head coach. Only one brought Bill in, 0 hired him. Tells you all you need to know. I think we have seen the last of Bill Belichick on an NFL sideline. He's not going to coach again, and he's not going to break the Don Shula win record because he's not going to have a chance to coach even one more game. Bill is done as a head coach in the NFL.